go.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Kyle and Not Kyle show. I'm Kyle.
I am not Kyle.
And we're continuing our look at the NFC pre-draft needs. We're going to be hitting the NFC South today. So we're going to start with the runner-up in the NFC, the New Orleans Saints. They finished with a regular season record of 13-3. Everyone knows how their season ended. With a rules change. Yeah, so the Saints do not have a first-round pick this year.
They don't.
Yeah, they traded it to the Packers in order to move up for Marcus Davenport last year.
They picked up
they only
tight end from Oakland, which was a steal.
Oh my gosh, that's huge that they got Jared Cook. They only have, and this is why it's a huge steal. They have one pick in the first 4 rounds.
Well, what
they need offensive line help. Max Unger retired, and Andres Pia, or however you say his name, he's a year away from free agency.
Yeah, but they'll worry about that when it's time.
Yeah. They could return. There's, they have Michael Thomas, but someone said they are still looking for a big physical receiver.
Well, I think the tight end is going to fill that role.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Watson is still there or not, but they could run some 2 tight end sets.
I think he is. I don't think he retired. I think he said this is.
I think the first thing.
Yes, he did retire.
Okay,
I'm like 90% certain he retired.
I think they need a pass rusher.
Yeah. I agree. They have the what's his face.
Yeah, big guy. He's good, but
Cam Jordan. Mr. Sending Brooms, Cam Newton.
I think that's. It's not like they need much. I mean, they're a pretty complete team.
I agree with that.
As long as they don't play Tampa Bay first part of the season, they're fine. And then I think second is they need linebackers. More linebackers. Better linebackers.
Yeah.
Add to that linebacking core.
Yeah. Linebacker, yeah.
But I don't think they really need. I mean, I know Unger leaving is huge. I mean, I think that's a big piece.
Big gap, yeah.
But I think they have some depth, or they're going to move somebody around.
Yeah.
Or they'll draft a center. I mean, I don't know. There's a couple, but they don't.
They'll have
pick
to trade
until
up.
very long.
Yeah, they will have to trade up if they want to.
That's why there's not really a lot they can do in the draft.
Yeah. So moving on to the second place NFC South team, we're going to talk about the Atlanta Falcons. They finished with a final regular season record of 7-9.
They actually had quite a few injuries, too.
They did. They still need help on defensive line. They tagged Grady Jarrett, so that's not.
I'm not going to dispute that with you, but none of those teams in that conference are running teams.
Yeah.
I mean, Ingram's not there anymore. He was the real stud runner.
Yeah.
Kamara's he's not going to get the ball 25 times up the gut.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm going. They need
depth
defensive
at corner.
backs.
Yeah, they need depth
defensive
at
backs.
corner.
Yes. And pass rusher.
Because congratulations, Falcons. Thank you very much for being crazy enough to accept that trade for Jordan Richards. Or no, you signed Jordan Richards. We didn't trade. No one would trade for him. And then 2 weeks later, he was forced into play. Now you see why New England fans hated him. He does not know how to play corner or safety, whatever he is. He's terrible. I never want to see his number on the field. So yeah, when you're having to rely on Jordan Richards to make a play, that says you need help on the defensive backfield. So yeah, that's going to be for me where they go. And again, pass rush. Especially in this division. Yeah, so, I mean, they had a lot of injuries, but I think that if they don't win 10 games next season, I think Quinn is fired. Even if they win 10 games, I could see them firing.
If he wins 12 games and they don't make the playoffs, I think he's on the hot seat.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think he's going to already be on the hot seat because they haven't returned to the playoffs since they lost the Super Bowl.
Well, it's only 2 years. 3 years.
3 years, yeah. 3 years removed from the Super Bowl, you haven't made the playoffs once. Granted, yes, you've had injuries, but still. So that's the Atlanta Falcons. So DBs and pass rush.
Yep.
Moving on to the Carolina Panthers.
Who they had injuries.
Yeah, they had injuries as well. They finished also 7-9.
I have wide at their first. They need a number 1 wide out. They need a number 2 wide out, and they need a number 3 wide out.
Right.
And I don't know if Olsen is coming back or not. And if he isn't coming back, they need a tight end.
Yeah.
I mean, McCaffrey is good, but you're going to kill this guy.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, my number 1 is they need edge rushers. Julius Peppers retired. Bruce Irvin, he's a Band-Aid. He's not a
but in
pure
that
pass rush.
I'm not disagreeing with it completely.
Yeah.
But in that division, if your offense cannot put up 24 points, you are going to lose.
Yeah.
And right now, their entire offense is based on Newton running the ball or him tossing the ball out to McCaffrey.
Yep.
That is not going to put up 24 points.
No, I agree. Like I said again, this is a bad draft class to desperately need wide receivers, because like I said, there is not really a true number one. There's no Michael Thomas. There's no Cooks. There's no Antonio Brown. There's no Juju Smith-Schuster. There's no DeAndre Hopkins type guy in this draft class. There's a lot of Mohamed Sanu's.
Which is better than they have right now.
I know.
I mean, their best
you
receiver
get
was
what I'm
Funchess.
saying.
Their
Yeah,
best receiver is Funchess.
There's a lot
and
of
he's
fun.
not there.
There's a lot of Devin Funchesses.
But
in this draft class.
they let him go. I mean, that's a lot of. They have their work cut out for them.
They do. They really do.
And that's if Newton's healed.
Yeah. We don't know if he's healed. So that is the Panthers. And we're going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who hold the 5th overall pick. They won 5 games last year for a record of 5-11.
I think they need a pass rusher.
Yes.
You can book in JPP.
Yep.
And that in that division especially, you got a chance to be in every single game.
The thing is, though, they need help up the middle because Quan Alexander is gone. He went to the 49ers.
Yes, but who's gonna run up the middle?
Yeah. Gerald McCoy.
Every one of those guys,
inside, doesn't he?
But every one of those guys, every quarterback in that division, Matt Ryan, Drew Brees, and Cam Newton are going to throw the ball.
Yeah.
Cam Newton might be the only guy that's going to run up the middle.
Honestly, for me, cornerback and safety they need to do that at 5 because they allowed a league worst 110.9 passer rating in 2018.
Well, but I don't disagree. But that's one of those lopsided stats. Because their first 6 games, they were on pace to set the record in scoring.
Right.
And Fitzpatrick had almost a 500-yard passing game in like 3 of the games. So if you're in it, you're chucking the ball down the field. Yeah, you're chucking the ball down the field too.
I also think they needed to try and get a playmaker at running back, just to ease the burden on Jameis Winston. However, that I know will not be the pick at number 5 because there's not a running back worth taking at 5 outside of Josh Jacobs.
Mike Williams, man, they still have him. That guy is a monster receiver. Monster.
Mike Evans?
Evans, yeah.
Mike Williams.
Mike Evans. I don't know. Whatever.
You're thinking of the Chargers. There's like 5. There's like 5 receivers on the Chargers with the last name Williams.
Yeah.
So
he's a stud.
Yeah. So for me, it's going to be pass rush, linebacker, defense.
I have a tight end in there. They need to get a tight end somewhere. Yeah. And then they need to look at, I think we're not doing it in this podcast, but Winston and Mariota both, you have to be going, they're in year 5.
Yep.
And they have underwhelmed everybody.
Yep.
He has thrown, I mean, you look and go, okay, he's got close to 4,000 yards throwing. Winston does every year.
Yeah.
It's like and they're scoring certain amounts of points in certain games and not another. And you're just going, what is going on down there?
When he's on, he looks great. When he's off, he looks terrible.
Right, but he's hitting all the numbers.
He'll be on one week and the next week he looks terrible. But then he looks great, then he looks terrible.
But if you look at him in isolation, it's like, okay, this guy's got the numbers, but there's no wins behind those numbers, which is like, wait a minute, what's the deal there?
I don't care about your numbers if there's no win.
Yes, and you just have to look at, is it time to be?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Obviously not in the first round, maybe not in the second round, but you got to be looking at his replacement.
End of day 2, early in day 3 of the draft. Yeah, if there's a quarterback you like there, take him.
Yeah.
All right, so that is the NFC South. We will be back in a little bit with another NFC video.